Searching through the memories in my mind, feeling like I'm lost in space and time. I'm confused what's real or fantasy, wondering what's best for me. Though I made mistakes, they made me strong. Got back up, got in the game. I've grown, never turning back. I'm on that road, going to places unknown.
Good afternoon, and welcome to the Partnership for a Drug-Free Detroit. This show is brought to you by a collaboration of the 35 prevention providers funded by the Detroit Wayne Mental Health Authority, and we've come together as a collaborative organization to work with the community to provide substance abuse prevention, treatment, and recovery, and to provide support and resources to the community, to the city of Detroit, and to Wayne County at large to help fight against substance abuse and alcoholism. And today, we're very fortunate to have on the show with us Ms. Anka T. Hill, who is the Prevention Program Director for the Michigan Black Caucus Foundation. Welcome to the show.
Hi, welcome, Mr. Arbuckle.
Well, it's very, very, very good to have you here. And I guess we want to start off by having you tell us a little bit about the Michigan Black Caucus Foundation and what you guys are all about.
Okay, well, first let me just correct you. My name is Akanke.
All right, I'm sorry, Akanke.
Thank you. Okay, so the Michigan Black Caucus Foundation, it's about public policy development in the black community. It's about public policy development and social and economic, for issues of social and economic importance to Michigan's black communities.
Okay.
We develop programs based on the needs of the citizens in our communities, especially black children, black families.
Okay. Yeah, I'm very familiar with the Michigan Black Caucus Foundation, and your organization has really been a very much, I guess I could say, a stalwart, if you will, of the area of Detroit, and that's sort of a play on words because the executive director is none other than Mr. Keith B. Stallworth, and the Stallworth family is on the board of directors and the founding members of the organization. Mother Stallworth, who was a past state representative, then Mr. Keith Stallworth, who is also past state representative, and Mr. Thomas Stallworth, who is just a recent past state representative. So the family has been very strong in the political environment here in the city of Detroit and in the state of Michigan, representing the interest of our community. And then also the foundation has been very, very instrumental in providing various support programs and resources to the community to make it a better place. Can you tell us a little bit about some of the specific programs that they run?
Well, absolutely. Under the direction of Nicole T. Stallworth, who is also director at the foundation, we have a program called Navigation to Success, which is in our high schools and middle schools.
Fantastic.
It's a drug-free youth in Detroit program.
Okay.
And it's all about the children. It's about growing young people to be drug-free and for them to understand that it's okay to be drug-free and violence-free.
Right. I know that in the last 3 to 5 years, every year, you guys have had a construction expose where you bring in various companies and construction firms and expose the young people to that. And can you tell us a little bit about that program?
Yes, this year is our 8th annual Construction Science Expo.
Wow.
We expect to have over 1,000 students from the city of Detroit,
That is
from
phenomenal.
all high schools, from 6th grade through 12th grade, that will
Wow.
attend.
Okay.
It's a collaboration of construction trades and engineering, and it's a wonderful, wonderful opportunity. The engineers and construction trades bring in all their big, heavy equipment, so the students get an actual chance to do hands-on projects.
That's a
They,
phenomenal opportunity.
oh, it really is. You should see them. They just simply enjoy it. As we progress through our Navigation to Success program, it leads up to the Construction Science Expo. So by
Okay.
that time, they're excited about it. They want to know more about the careers.
Mm-hmm.
They want to know more about what it's like.
Mm-hmm.
And so the engineers that are there, the construction tradespeople, and also we asked some of our former students who have
Wow.
gone on to pursue careers
Okay.
in Michigan Department of Transportation, MDOT programs,
Yes.
and also other various companies to come back and talk with the students at that time, share their experiences, and allow the students to ask them questions about their career path.
Right. Okay. You know, and to be honest, I have had the privilege of actually participating in a couple of the expos, and as you indicate, it's just a phenomenal experience to see over 1,000 young Detroiters out learning about the various opportunities in construction. I know that DTE has been a very, very big supporter of that project, and I can recall seeing the heavy equipment out there and the young people learning about the trades of being an electrician and other skilled trades in the plumbing and pipe fitting and masonry and things of that nature. And to see them get their hands a little dirty and have the hard hats on, and to get a real feel for the experience of working in that environment is truly a stepping stone to leading them to being aware of what's out there and what's available and what opportunities are available to them. I know that, well, tell us a little bit about yourself. You've been with the Caucus Foundation for how long?
I've been there for going on 2 years now.
All right.
And it's just an amazing opportunity.
Yes.
I have a long history of education.
Okay.
I've worked in the school systems for about 20 years.
Wow.
I worked at Aisha Shule, W.E.B. Du Bois Academy,
Right, I'm
for
very familiar.
16 years. And
Wow.
it was just the most awesome experience in my life.
Okay, so you've got a very rewarding and well-rounded career in working with youth. And based on that, what do you see as some of the major risks to young people having an opportunity to be successful and to succeed?
One of the major risks that I see now is the drug use or drug misuse. It's killing our children.
Right.
It's literally killing them every day. And the hopelessness that they feel, I think it compounds the problem.
Certainly.
Because they turn to the drugs because they feel hopeless. But the drugs are such depressants that they bring them down. So then they are hopeless.
Right.
And so they get themselves in that catch-22.
Right. It's a perpetual thing.
Yeah, absolutely. The other thing, too, is that sometimes, you know, as you're growing up as a young person, you make mistakes. And you can recover from those mistakes.
Certainly.
When you make mistakes with drugs, sometimes you don't recover. You can hurt your career.
Certainly.
So you can be a drug user for a moment or time in your life, but that will carry with you for such a long time that you ruin a lot of your chances.
That's absolutely right. Just this last 2 weeks ago, starting on January the 22nd and running through the 29th, was National Drug Facts Week. And during that, we ran a show to kind of bring some of the facts to the forefront for the young people, to make them aware of the seriousness of what they're doing and the long-reaching effects that happen as a result of it. And while we firmly believe that drug abuse and alcoholism are diseases and that they can be treated and that you can recover, you are absolutely right that the impacts are often devastating and have very far-reaching effects. One of the things we look at right now is the fact that here in the city of Detroit, marijuana for recreational use has been legalized for people to have it in their home, to have a certain amount of it, and it's okay to use it from a legal standpoint. But then those same individuals go out to try and get a job, and they can't pass a drug test, and therefore they can't get the job. And they are, shooting themselves in the foot, if you will, or almost cutting off your nose to spite your face, in that, it's a big bamboozle. You've been misled to believe that substance abuse and drug use is okay, but then the effects of it prohibit you from being able to get a job and to sustain a quality of life. So it's very, very, very far-reaching. During the National Drug Facts Week, one of the things that we realized is that there are so many different items out there now that the young people can get involved in. You've got the alcohol, you've got the anabolic steroids, the bath salts, cocaine. They are now abusing cough and cold medicines, the candies. They've got, of course, the opioids and heroin. Then there are inhalants. There's marijuana, the MDMA, or better known as ecstasy or Molly. Then you've got methamphetamines. And all of these different drugs. Yeah, it's just an exhausting list. And that's not the whole list. I mean, if you look at some of the other, you've got the prescription medications, the prescription amphetamines like the Bennies and the Blacks and the Black Beauties and Heart Roses and Skippy Speed. And then you move over to the prescription pain medication, and you've got oxycodone and heroin and OC and perks and hillbillies and happy pills. And then you've got the different types of synthetic drugs, like the synthetic marijuana, the K2, or better known as spice. And then we've got other drugs that we probably don't consider as bad, but they're very addictive, like tobacco and the nicotine that's in that, and the devastating effect that it's had on our nation's health and the cost of health care, from cancer and other congestive heart failure and other things of that nature. So it's just a tremendous, tremendous road for the young people to navigate. And fortunately, we do have organizations like the Black Caucus Foundation of Michigan that helps us provide resources to the young people. Another outstanding program that I'm familiar with that the Black Caucus Foundation runs is your Red Ribbon Pledge program that leads up to the construction program. Can you tell us a little bit about the pledge not to use drugs?
Yes, well, within our program, Navigation to Success, we ask the students to become ambassadors at their school.
Okay.
And ambassadors to lead a drug-free and violence-free lifestyle.
Okay.
And as those ambassadors, one of their tasks is to recruit their fellow students, their fellow peers, other students within that school. Our goal is to have 100% student body to pledge drug-free, violence-free lifestyle.
That's great.
We have a rally for them as well.
Okay.
And so the students get a chance to mirror back to us what we've taught them about why it's important to be drug-free and violence-free. And they do this on a platform in front of other students, sometimes the entire student body, sometimes just several classes. And so the goal is for everybody to sing the same song. We pledge to be drug-free and violence-free, and why that is so important.
That's great. And you know, what that does is it results in creating a level of peer pressure that's positive.
Yes.
Positive peer pressure. If all of your friends are saying, hey, we don't mess with that stuff, we don't get high, we don't use drugs, suddenly the peer pressure is to not use those substances rather than the negative peer pressure of, hey man, try this, or you're a wimp if you don't try this or do that. So that's a great program.
It builds a lot of strength within the youth because they're lifting each other up.
Yes.
And instead of bullying each other down.
Right.
And so it just works wonders.
Fantastic. Lifting while we climb.
Absolutely.
That's a tremendous, tremendous approach. One of the things that we wanted to focus on during our Drug Facts Week was to make people aware of some of the statistics that are associated with substance abuse and drug use. And one of the things that we found out was that people are not fully aware of what is going on with an overdose. And we wanted to let people know that a person dies due to drug overdose. The medical examiner and coroner's records reflect that on a death certificate that these events have occurred. And sometimes it is purposely self-inflicted. That is a person that is attempting to complete a suicide, but oftentimes it is unintentional and accidental. And the unintentional drug poisoning deaths can happen when a drug or drugs are taken on purpose and mixed together. And they can also happen when drugs are accidentally taken or given to someone in the course of a medical procedure. But we usually find, or we're often finding, that drug overdoses are occurring as part of a person intentionally ingesting the substances and not being fully aware of what the impact will be. We found out from the National Institute on Drug Addiction that and drug abuse that we have had an uptick in the number of overdoses that are taking place across the country. A vast majority of that is associated with the opioid and prescription drug use. But then we're also finding that there is a significant number of deaths that are taking place as a result of the mixing of the drugs and not understanding the impact that they will have, the taking of counterfeit drugs. And that is an issue that is starting to run rampant across the nation. And we're finding that a lot of these counterfeit drugs, especially on the western borders of the country, where these drugs are being brought in from outside of America, and oftentimes they look like the real thing. And in fact, recently in Sacramento, California, there were 43 people that were admitted to the hospital for taking what they thought was oxycodone. It looked like oxycodone, it had the right color, and it even had the correct markings on the pills. However, once investigated, it turned out that the pills had a very, very high content of fentanyl. And that is a substance that is also being mixed with heroin to enhance what they feel is the potency, but really it's becoming a very lethal mixture because people are purchasing one item thinking that it's, like I said, oxycodone, and then it turns out that it's fentanyl and really a lethal substance. So a lot of people are being taken advantage of because they're out seeking to purchase these substances, and people are selling them to them at the black market price, but then it's turning out to be counterfeit.
Well, education is so important, and that's one reason why our focus is on the young people, to educate them. One of the programs that within our Navigation to Success program is we talk to the students about violence in the media and about advertising and about being analytical about the programming that they're watching.
Absolutely.
And that they can't mimic what they see on TV because that's not real.
Wow.
And so as you see these different programs, they highlight these drug parties where the students or young people will just bring medications from home. They'll clean out their medicine cabinets and they dump them in a big bowl and mix them up, and then everybody pulls something out and just starts taking it.
Yeah, in fact, I think those are called pill parties.
Yes.
Yeah,
and our young people are watching this thinking that that's something that they can do, that they can try. And we have to let them know that, no, that's not real pills that they're taking.
Right.
They're not going to get sick. You're going to get sick.
Right.
And you may even die.
Right. And what we have to remember is that when a doctor or a medical professional prescribes a drug or gives you a prescription, it is to meet your personal biological, physiological requirements. And every human being has different biological and physiological requirements. And, something as simple as aspirin, that for the average person, it's a good thing. Well, there are people that are allergic to aspirin, and if they were to ingest it, they die or suffer some very, very severe consequences from a health standpoint. Something as simple as aspirin. So one can only imagine what what Xanax might do for me versus what it will do for another person.
Absolutely.
And we found, there has been a lot of investigation and research over the last 2 years about that particular subject. And originally the thought was that, people are going to other people's homes, or young adults are going to their youth are going to the grandma's house, and I'm going to go in the grandma's medicine cabinet and raid the medicine cabinet and steal her stuff. But what we have found is that oftentimes it is the individual who has the prescription that, hey girl or hey guy, this works for me when I'm having chest pain, so here, you take some of this. And we're sharing our medication. Another thing that's going on that is impacting it is that we are finding oftentimes, or in the population of senior citizens, that they are taking those pills and selling them themselves out on the black market. It's not their grandson or granddaughter that's coming and stealing the pills out of the cabinet, but grandma is selling the pills herself because she's finding out that out on the street she can get $40 or $60 a pill for this pill, so she's out trying to make that money. So there is a lot of different phenomena that are occurring that's starting to have an impact. Not only does the Black Caucus Foundation of Michigan have an opportunity to work with young adults and young people, but you've got some other dynamic programs going on too. I know that one of them was with the foreclosure issue, and can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yes. That is a program that we saw as being so vitally necessary to our community. It's a program that helps to keep people in their homes. And we found that there's a lot of absentee landlords around, and who are collecting rent monies from people who are not, who either don't own that home, or are not paying the taxes for the home.
Okay.
And so when the county comes in to foreclose for tax purposes, the landlord has the money and they're gone, and they'll set up shop somewhere else. That leaves that tenant out in the street.
Okay.
And it's a person who's trying to live, who's trying to provide services for their family. And so what that program then does, it takes that home out of the hands of the owner or the person who allowed it to get foreclosed, and helps put that back into the hands of the tenant who's actually living there, and gives them an opportunity to become a homeowner.
That is wonderful. So the Black Caucus Foundation of Michigan is doing some tremendous things, not only in the world of substance abuse prevention, treatment, and recovery, but also helping out the community at large to provide support for our citizens here across the city of Detroit and throughout Wayne County. Can you, if a person wants to get in touch with the Black Caucus Foundation, how do they do that?
Well, they can do that several ways. They can visit our website.
Okay.
We do also have a Facebook page, and they can call our office at 313-285-9234.
Once again, that's 313-285-9234, and that is the Michigan Black Caucus Foundation, or the Black Caucus Foundation of Michigan. They are doing some tremendous work. They are also one of the agencies that's funded by the Detroit Wayne Mental Health Authority and part of the provider network that helps throughout Wayne County. And then once again, my name is Marcel Arbuckle. I am the Executive Director of the Center for Urban Youth and Family Development. We are an agency that works with youth that are in and transitioning out of foster care, and we also provide substance abuse prevention, life skills development, workforce development, suicide prevention for that population. And anybody that's interested in getting in touch with the Center for Urban Youth and Family Development, give us a call at 313-340-3101. Once again, that's 313-340-3101, and you can also reach out to us at cuyfddetroit.org. Once again, our website is www.cuyfddetroit.org, and you can check us out also on Facebook and on Twitter. On Facebook, just go in and search the Center for Urban Youth and Family Development. On Twitter, we are CUIFD Detroit. So come and check us out. And also, I know that the Black Caucus Foundation of Michigan also has a website.
Yes, it's www.michiganblackcaucus.org.
All right. So once again, if you're interested in getting your young person involved in some of the outstanding and dynamic projects that are being implemented by the Black Caucus Foundation of Michigan, please contact them at 313-285-9234, or reach out to them on their website at www.michiganblackcaucus.org. And once again, we're the Center for Urban Youth and Family Development. That's CUIFDdetroit.org, and you can reach us at 313-340-3101. Thank you again. We really enjoyed having you on the show.
Thank you.
And thank you for participating with us. And we all are together working for a partnership for a drug-free Detroit. Thank you.
You're welcome.
And thank you, viewing audience.
Thank you.
Searching through the memories in my mind, feeling